Hello, I'm Graham Elwood. We'll talk about an incident that happened in Seattle. I'm going to reference an article that was in the truthdig.com on March 5th by Ben Norton. I think it originally was in Alternet, but I'm sure you've seen this in multiple news sources. This man, I'll just read you the stats right here. A Sikh man in Kent, Washington was shot Friday in his doorway by a white gunman who reportedly said, "Go back to your own country," before attacking him. The 39-year-old victim said he had been working on his car outside of his house in the Seattle suburb when a stranger walked to him, began harassing with racial comments, and then shot him in the arm. Police, as of this article, are still looking for the gunman. First of all, this happened after 9/11. So Sikhs are basically, I believe, part of the Hindu sect of religion, but they wear turbans and have beards, so they're immediately thought of as, Muslim towel head terrorists or whatever. This brings up a very interesting point. These hate crimes have been on the rise. You had the church in South Carolina. You're more likely to get shot by a white guy. Like, we should have a travel ban on white Christians leaving their crazy houses or militia groups or whatever, because that's who's causing the majority of the problems. And, it's unbelievable. I did that article about the interfaith, like the Jewish and Muslim religious organizations helping each other out after like a hate crime or something. That's how any sort of crime is going to be solved, as I've talked about, is when the interfaith is helping. So who's helping us out with these white Christian crazy assholes? How are we going to get them? How are we going to limit them? Because I'm honestly always been more terrified of them. The militia people in this country, I'm way more terrified of them. Like, look what happened in Oklahoma City. Look what is happening right now. A guy just was shot in his driveway working on his car. And had a Muslim guy shot a white guy working in his car in some town in suburban Seattle. Those Trump and those people would be going ballistic. They'd be going out of their minds. And he would use that as a justification to round up. There's a report, and Trump said he was going to do this during his campaign, of putting together a task force. And currently the White House is denying this. But there's an internal memo that was leaked to AP saying that they're talking about putting together 100,000 National Guardsmen to go round up illegals. And this is terrifying because it's going to empower more of these guys who think, I'm going to get a gun and go up to a guy with brown skin and a beard or whatever and say, go back to your country and shoot him. It's going to empower them. The rhetoric of Trump's campaign, and then the Democratic Party has no one to stop them. So this is a really dangerous situation. And if 100,000 troops start rounding up illegals, and then there's guys like this running around, and Dylan Roof and all these other wingnuts, we're like on the verge of a powder keg here. Like, this could be an all-out civil war, or worse, we just acquiesce and let it happen, and let the National Guard just steamroll and scoop people up. It's already happening. ICE is already going out there detaining people. People are being separated from their families at the border that are flying. It's right here. I'll read what this guy, Arjun, an adjunct professor of law at Georgetown and Vanderbilt Universities and a civil rights activist. The greatest threat facing Americans today is white violent extremists. He's not wrong. It's a threat to all of us. And then what? If they become more empowered and more emboldened, and then anyone that speaks out, am I a threat to them because I've spoken out against Trump? Are they going to come after me? This is insane. This is insanity. It's pure insanity. And I don't know, a lot of times at the end of these videos, I have like some sort of like call to action or call this senator or whatever. I guess, call your representatives and say, this is scary and there needs to be an investigation into these white violent extremists. If we're going to investigate Muslim terrorists, we need to investigate these white extremists, many of whom are Christian. I remember I was in Iraq doing shows, and I heard some of the military guys say, hey, every Muslim isn't a terrorist, but every terrorist is a Muslim. You know, they would say, you'd hear that. You know, every guy in Al-Qaeda is a Muslim, but, you know, it's like, well, every Christian isn't in the KKK, but every KKK member is a Christian, right? Every white person with a gun isn't in a violent militia, but every militia has a bunch of white people with guns. I mean, like, you can make that joke over and over again, and other comedians have made that reference too. But like, it's terrifying. So let's start holding these people accountable, and let's get our lawmakers to step up. Let's make that an action. Let's go after white extremists, because they're terrifying to me. I've driven through the middle parts of this country, and I've seen them in their pickup trucks. I saw a pickup truck in Nevada once, and this bumper sticker said, if you take away my guns, what am I going to kill liberals with? Ha ha ha. I'm sure they thought that was funny. That's horrifying. And his back window was shot out. He had sleeves cut off. I'm not making this up. That scares the shit out of me. So let's speak up. Especially, I'm a white guy. That's why I'm speaking up. It's bullshit. And these people are terrifying. You know? And you want to talk about they can go anywhere. They just look like, oh, there's just a white guy with a truck and an American flag hat. Oh, he's okay. He's cool. Really? Is he? Does he have guns? Does he want to just start shooting people that are different than him? That's terrifying. Stay vigilant. Like it, subscribe, go to the Patreon. I'll put a link to the article below. And thanks for watching.